In my weakest year, Ryan, a scholarship student with the same rare blood type as me, became my walking blood bank. He was practically chained to my side, and, to make things worse, he had been forced into marriage with me. I always knew he disliked me, until I accidentally heard his thoughts. Why won't wifey just slap me randomly? Then I could cuddle her. Some people fall in love, some stare at the ocean. I stayed awake all night missing my wife. Wait, wifey looked at me. Should have worn that deep V-neck. Is it too late to rip my shirt off now? I watched his hands twitch nervously. My chest tightened, like a fishbone lodged in my throat. If he actually ripped his shirt open, I wouldn't complain. But surely I was imagining it. What's wrong? I asked. Ryan glanced at me casually, his expression unreadable, like I was just another stranger. It was hard to believe we'd lived together since we were 12, married for 2 years now. He had always been aloof, quiet, indifferent. Yet somehow, his inner voice was now chattering nonstop in my head. Wifey looked at me again. Yesterday, she fangirled over some celebrity, so I styled my hair the same. Gotta stay ahead in the male competition. Wifey's lips so soft. I want to kiss them. Wifey's waist so tiny. I want to feed her. Want to see her little tummy puff out, maybe even pinch it. I want to eat wifey up. Yes. New material for tonight's dreams. When will my dreams come true? Am I trying hard enough? I muttered. One thing was certain. I was hearing Ryan's inner thoughts. I dropped the spoon in my hand, my sleepy brain instantly alert.
Ouch.
A hand shot out faster than I could react, grabbing tissues. The spill on my hand was wiped gently, Ryan checking carefully for burns. Be careful, he said, frowning like I owed him my life. Which direction do I need to bow to earn the right to feed wifey? She's so cute when she's confused. I want to hug her, kiss her, maybe squeeze her to death by accident. I yanked my arm away. From just wanting to kiss me, now he wanted to kill me? Psycho. I didn't linger. I'm full, I said, standing up. Ryan's frown deepened. He opened his mouth, closed it again, and buried his head back in his food, but I could still hear his thoughts. She only ate 2 dumplings and half a bowl of porridge. A 1-year-old eats more. When can I fatten her up? Is my cooking bad? Shouldn't be. I learned from the chef at the old house. Eat fast. Later, I'll make wifey her favorite mango cupcakes. From the living room sofa, I watched him finish my leftovers in record time. 8 wifey's leftovers. Does that count as an indirect kiss? I'm the happiest man alive. Time to bake cupcakes for wifey. Then I noticed something. Ryan was wearing gray sweatpants, sitting sideways. The curve of his muscles was impressive. I touched my own flat stomach, comparing. According to all those romance novels I'd secretly read, it should fit. In the kitchen, he was shirtless. Long, defined muscles stretched across his back, the apron tied around a narrow waist dipping into a perfect lower back. Truly blinding. Better than any comic book hero I'd ever seen. Wifey looked at me. Books say accidental seduction is the deadliest. Did wifey look at me? Should I pretend to glance back? I'm just her childhood betrothed, plain face, plain body, plain skills. She won't value me if she has me. I have to keep her hooked, be the man she can't have. Humph. Go be a pure love protagonist somewhere else. This channel isn't for you. I was about to toss an apple at him when Ryan turned, asking casually. Face so red? Feeling sick. He placed honey water and cupcakes in front of me, his hand brushing my forehead lightly. No fever. Scared me to death. No way. Is wifey blushing because she saw me? If I couldn't hear his thoughts, I might have assumed he didn't want to touch me. His composed exterior hid a chaotic obsession with seducing me. Thanks a lot. Coughing, I avoided his eyes. Just scrolling on my phone. TikTok was still open. On screen, a muscular guy under a shower, soaked shirt clinging to a lean waist. A thirst trap I'd scrolled past earlier. My hand slipped, and I accidentally liked it. Ryan's calm expression didn't change, but his thoughts did.
So she's looking at wild men.
And liking it in front of me. First celebrities, now thirst traps, am I just decoration? I tried to explain. It's the algorithm. Pushed it to me. He shoved the honey water into my hand.
Drink.
It's dry out. What's so good about those shameless men? I have 8-pack abs, a thin waist, long legs. If wifey wants, I can get wet. Naked. But wifey doesn't like me, she only likes that senior. I'm just a decoration. Want to cry. Wifey, can I sleep between you and the senior? I had never liked any senior. Why was he imagining that? Clearly, he spent every day pretending to guard his heart from me, avoiding intimacy. No marital life, not even sharing a room. When I saw Ryan leave for the study, eyes red, I wanted to confront him, but as I stood, black spots filled my vision. I collapsed back onto the sofa. I'd stood too fast. My body was too weak. By the time I recovered, the study door was closed. After I finished the cupcake and rested a little, I finally walked to his study door and knocked. He called out at the same time I did. "Leave the plate. I'll wash it later." "Ryan, we need to talk." His expression cooled instantly, but what poured out in my head was the complete opposite. She is here to end things. I knew it. She wants to dump me over a stupid video. I did not even complain. Why is my wife so unreasonable?
Fine.
I refuse to talk about anything except love. I hold the legal title. Any outsider is just a side character. I stared at him, honestly wondering if stress had finally split him into two people. My concerned look only fueled his panic. She pities me. That means she wants to leave. I knew it. I knew it. He straightened up and spoke with a rough, blocked voice. "I am busy today. We will talk another time. There is more cake in the fridge. Heat it before eating. Cold food upsets your stomach." Then he took a call and shut the door. A beat later, his inner voice was wailing. "I deserve a reward tonight. I am stealing her nightgown." I almost choked. Suddenly, everything made sense. He had been bringing me new nightgowns for months, always apologizing and saying he accidentally stretched the old ones. I never questioned why he kept having them ready in advance. Now I knew exactly why. The rest of the day, Ryan moved like a fugitive avoiding police. He vanished until nightfall. Normally, I fall asleep around 11 without issue, but not tonight. My mind kept circling around the two of us. Calling him my childhood fiancé was a stretch. Our parents only teased about it. The truth was simpler. I was born sick, fragile, and dependent on someone with the same rare blood type. That someone happened to be Ryan. When I was born, my mother had just gone through a kidnapping and a traumatic labor. I spent my first months in the NICU barely holding on. I grew up sickly, constantly exhausted, and so sensitive to illness that a light breeze could ruin my week. And because I had such an uncommon blood type, my father found Ryan, a boy who matched me and came from a family buried in debt. Ryan's life back then was the kind that novels used to traumatize their readers. His father had been a gambler, now dead. His mother was ill. He was collecting trash for cash when my father approached him. My father asked me, "Sarah, do you want a friend to play with every day?" I had no friends, so I nodded. Just like that, Ryan was tied to me, responsible for donating blood, if anything happened to me. He never had a choice. A soft click broke my thoughts. My bedroom door eased open. I was about to lift my head when Ryan's voice brushed into my mind. She must be asleep. What was he doing in my room at this hour? I kept my eyes shut, curious. The mattress dipped as he climbed in beside me. He lay close enough that I could feel the warmth of him, close enough that I could smell my own body wash on his skin. This man. He had definitely used my products. His breath brushed my ear. "Wife, can I kiss you if you do not say anything? I will think you agree." He kissed me lightly, tiny taps, like he was afraid to disturb the air. If I had not been clenching the sheets, I would have made noise. Love her so much. Must be gentle. She will notice if her lips swell. So he had done this before. After a while he pulled back. I kept my breathing slow, waiting for him to leave. He did not leave. He stared at my sleeping face like he was studying sacred art. And then I heard a strangled sound from him. Years of reading spicy novels paid off, because I knew exactly what he was doing without looking. My body locked up. There was no way I could open my eyes now. "Wife, sorry," he whispered. "Sorry for what?" The answer came when he grabbed my hand and covered it with heat. My soul evaporated. He kept going, murmuring my name over and over in a voice I had never heard from him in daylight. My wrist hurt, my palm burned, and I was silently praying for mercy. He had said he wanted to steal a nightgown, not commit a crime against my hand. I risked peeking. Moonlight fell through the curtains, outlining him. He was kneeling beside me, shirt bitten between his teeth, muscles tight, chest rising and falling with intensity. Even in the dark, his skin looked flushed. When my fingers twitched by accident, he reacted so strongly I shut my eyes immediately and pretended to whimper in my sleep. He froze, listening, then cleaned my hand carefully with a wipe, checking every part like it was a delicate artifact. He kissed my wrist softly. Sarah, I love you. Sleep well. Only after he left did I dare open my eyes. My palm was red and warm. Too warm. His dreams in this lifetime were absolutely not happening. The next morning felt cursed. I dreamed of Ryan. Except Ryan had stamina that defied physics. I woke up flushed, cursing him while pulling on clothes. I tiptoed into the bathroom with my underwear, determined to wash it myself. Usually Ryan handled all my laundry, but after last night, I was mortified. When I turned around, he was standing in the doorway. I hid the fabric behind me. Why is her face red? Want a bite? Wait, she is washing panties. Is she trying to do chores? My wife is already suffering by being married to me. How could I let her wash anything? He snatched the panties gently from my hands and switched on the tap. Mom said you cannot touch cold water. Let me do it. Just treat me like the housekeeper. Oh, I mumbled and slipped out, embarrassed. Rounding the corner, I heard his inner voice blaring. So fragrant. My steps halted.
What?
I turned back silently. Ryan was holding the panties, face buried in them, inhaling like a man addicted. His expression was far too blissful. The moment he sensed me, he froze like a malfunctioning robot, then forced a straight face. I was checking if they were clean. That is all. The panties were completely dry. Even a fool would not believe that excuse, but I said nothing. His hands were trembling like he was afraid of tearing them. Poor lace. I forced my feet to move toward him. Slowly. Deliberately. It was ridiculous. I was tiny, he was tall and muscular, yet he retreated until his back hit the cold tile. I woke up the next morning, holding my hand. Why is my palm a little swollen? I asked, looking at Ryan. He glanced calm, almost too calm. Maybe there are mosquitoes. I'll hang a repellent by your bed tonight. Did wifey notice? No. Mustn't let her know. I'll be gentler next time. I laughed angrily. Not admitting it is one thing, but planning to do it again? Mosquitoes? I repeated. Breakfast is ready, come eat, he said, clearly trying to distract me. I sighed and said what needed saying. We need to talk. Better to clear the air than keep tiptoeing around each other. You go eat first. I'll wash up and then we'll talk. His inner thoughts betrayed him immediately.
Think.
What excuse can I use? Why is she so determined? I don't want a divorce. Go on a business trip? No, I can't leave her. I'll lose it if I can't see her for an hour. I'm such a failure. She doesn't love me. How do I save this marriage? I frowned. Why did he always assume I'd divorce him? Right, I had never actually told him I liked him. Even though my family treated him kindly, from his perspective he had been living under someone else's roof. That insecurity, that low sense of worth, it explained everything, from the mysterious senior to all the tiny secret gestures he pulled behind the scenes. I realized I had to take charge. If I didn't, I'd never truly move into the open road of love. Just as I prepared to speak, my phone buzzed. It was the class monitor from before high school split us into different streams. Ryan exhaled. Answer it. The class group is active. It might be important. Thin ice has escaped again. Living precariously, as usual. I answered. The monitor's voice came through. Sarah Shun, our homeroom teacher, was sick, but just discharged. We're planning a visit. Are you coming? He had always looked fierce, more like a butcher than a teacher, but he cared for his students. I wasn't fond of going out, but I couldn't say no. I'll come. Do you have Ryan's number? You two were always together. I looked at Ryan, who nodded. He'll come. The monitor laughed. Weekend, and you're together. I even wrote a love letter back then. Do I still have a chance? Love letter? I never received one. Ryan snatched the phone. Send the address and time. My wife and I will be punctual. He hung up and returned the phone, burying his head back into laundry. Still obsessed with my wife. Should have thrown that torn love letter on his desk long ago. Chance? None. Zero. Unless I die, no one else gets a shot. The tension lingered like sour air. Meeting was set for 10 a.m. After breakfast, Ryan meticulously dressed, styling every strand of hair. Already exceptionally handsome, the effort made him practically magnetic. Husband's appearance, wife's glory. Sweep the rivals aside. This is my realm. I must defend my position, show the aura of the main wife. I rolled my eyes but let him carry fruit and supplements. When we arrived, over a dozen classmates were waiting. Faces blurred by years quickly became clear. The monitor, hair slicked back, laughed at us. Our class's golden couple. Must make up for the wedding candy. Absolutely. Ryan put an arm around me, shaking hands with every male classmate. Beneath that polite smile, his inner voice was laughing madly. He. The silent type? Everyone fooled. Today, I dominate. They tried to praise me for taming him, training the aloof high mountain flower to smile. I chuckled. He wasn't aloof, just utterly closeted. The so-called maturity and calmness were all performance. Finger marks on the monitor's hand, the marks from old love letters, reminded Ryan of past defeats. I'll crush you. By noon, the monitor reserved a private lunchroom. We drove over. I got out first. Ryan parked the car. As we approached the entrance, a familiar voice called. Sarashin? Long time no see.
Luke.
I replied, uncertain. He smiled, holding a grudge-free courtesy. I wanted to thank you back then, and maybe treat you to a meal. Got time? Luke had been a senior in chemistry, often around the office because his sister was our teacher. I had seen him enough to recognize him. I agreed, but my smile faltered when Ryan walked past, slightly unbuttoned collar, sleeves rolled up, eyes stormy, staring at
Luke.
My pupils shrank. The senior Ryan feared wasn't Luke? I tried listening to his thoughts. All I heard was muffled sobbing. Afterward, Ryan approached, arm draped over my shoulder. Hello, I'm Sarah's husband. That word, husband, hit like an iron stamp. He did fine abroad. Why return now? I hold the title, but will he take that too? Golden couple. Perfectly matched. Wifey even proposed. He must like her. My life is over. At 24, I understood the despair of a powerless man rumored to be cuckolded. And when had I proposed to Luke? After agreeing to meet Luke another day, I dragged Ryan into an empty private room. He protested silently, but let me. I pushed him onto the sofa, grabbed his thick hair, forcing him to look at me. When did I propose to Luke? I demanded. Cold, strained, he whispered. You're asking me? I quickly pecked his cheek. Kiss first, then answer. His face flushed crimson. Stiff, unmoving. After a long pause, he spoke, voice raw, eyes red. Graduation day. Memories resurfaced. On graduation day, Luke had returned as an accomplished graduate to give a speech. After dismissal, songs of youth blared. Graduates celebrated. Luke had dropped a velvet box, rings inside, and I returned it later. Ryan's eyes lit up. But you were upset back then. I was. You had good grades, I didn't. For years apart, I wasn't happy without you. He grabbed my wrist, checking carefully. So, Sarah likes me a little, right? Little? Half my life spent with him. I liked him more than a little. Ryan, you're here. Luckily I came. Just then, a red dress appeared at the door. How could I forget her? Linda. Ryan's white moonlight. Ryan had always been exceptional, handsome, smart, with admirers everywhere. But his aloofness kept most girls at a distance. Only one, Linda, dared approach him freely. She brought him water during basketball games, lingered to ask questions, and playfully asked, Did you fall in love with me today? Every day. I, a frail girl, had none of that youthful vitality. Afraid Ryan might like her, I forbade him from talking to Linda. On placement test day, we left school together. Across the street, Linda waved at Ryan. For the first time, he told me to go home first and then ran to meet her. The evening wind lifted his jacket slightly, carrying the boldness of youth. If I weren't in love with him, I would have called it beautiful. But I was. I hid, peeking as they strolled shoulder to shoulder into the nearby snack street. Minutes later, Ryan returned, grinning guiltily, clutching his bag, probably Linda's love letter. I felt like a villain in a novel, wanting to lock him away and keep him to myself. After our classes were divided, Ryan and Linda went into science. I chose arts. Call it the villainous awakening. Ryan stayed by my side daily, and we ended up in the same university. Yet sometimes he laughed at me, resisted intimacy, and no longer lingered with his eyes. Since childhood, except for my health, I lacked nothing. My parents' trust fund would have let me live without worry. I had little ambition or desire. What was mine would be mine, and what wasn't worth the fight. Later, my father asked if I wanted to marry Ryan. He was the only person I might have fought to keep. I agreed, but now, a week ago, I was considering divorce. Love was both possession and fulfillment. I couldn't afford mistakes. Then, I heard his thoughts. Linda's appearance caused a stir among classmates. The big star even came to the gathering. Don't forget to get autographs. She smiled calmly beside Ryan. Star? Teacher Vance's adaptations are rare enough already. Ryan nodded. Work hard, earn money, deserve my kissy wifey. Speaking of which, she just kissed me. Hee hee. I pinched my ear, having heard this countless times before. Classmates toasted him. He sipped tea. So, what if you can write love letters? Wifey kissed me. I remained speechless. Think about your youthful white moonlight. She's staring at you. The gathering ended. Ryan, having drunk too much water, headed to the bathroom. Linda followed immediately, and so did I, curious about what he thought of her. I had shown my hand. He couldn't hide now. At the sink, Linda boldly asked, Ryan, did you fall for me today? Ryan started to leave.
Sorry.
I have a lover. Siri, record this. Protect my innocence. Back.
Back.
Back. Knew I shouldn't have used this bathroom. Linda blocked him. You sacrificed so much for Sarah Shen, your ideal college, your perfect future. Why always sacrifice? Ryan interrupted firmly. My wife is my lifelong ideal. Everything else is secondary. I froze. He had chosen science not because of Linda, but to stay in my class. Top 3 in the grade college entrance exams. He scored just enough to match me, shocking the school. Later, I realized the truth. How could he be so foolish, risking his future for me? Ryan's gaze fell on me. Face pale, he dragged me away. Linda called after us, failed to intervene, but friendship remains. Recommend me for the next female lead. In the back seat, Ryan held me tightly. You gave up your dream school, your future, to attend a second-tier college with me, cooking and washing daily. Never again. You own nothing, nothing to anyone, especially me. He clumsily wiped tears from my face. Finally, he confessed. Not for kindness. I like you. I want to protect you forever. I can't leave you. If I don't see you, I'll go mad. I hesitated. Do you still like Linda? Ryan's eyes wavered, then softened. When did I ever? You accepted her confession back then. Impossible. Which rival spread rumors to my wife. If hearts could be engraved, mine would be covered with Sarah Shen.
Knife.
I'll carve my heart out for her to see. I felt a little guilty for doubting him, but seeing it with my own eyes, I was still justified. The day of placement exams, first time you didn't go home with me, I reminded him. He winced. I went to buy you candied haws. My weak body craved sugar easily. I had never tasted instant noodles, indulged only in special treats prepared by chefs, like those candy-coated haws from the snack street opposite the school. I always envied the street version. Ryan explained. I earned 300 yuan online, secretly bought 2 candied haws for you. Smuggled them back, but the sugar melted, and you ignored me. The lifted hem, the knight's boldness, it was all for me. His red-eyed, trying to smile expression melted my heart. I hugged him, scolding softly. Next time, speak clearly. Don't waste years, got it? I kissed the mole on his Adam's apple. He groaned like that night. Too sensitive, too hot. I moved away, trying to survive the intensity. Ryan clutched my waist, stubborn love overflowing. Wifey, can I call you wifey? I'll control myself, it'll pass soon. Even as my heart raced, I pinched my fingers, staring out the tinted car window. Wifey smells so good. Saved the world in a past life. Marrying Sarah Shin this one. If wifey could help me, sitting beside me only makes me more excited. 20 minutes of stalemate, sweat forming on my nose tip. Want me to help you? I was carried into the house by Ryan. The moment the door clicked shut, he pressed me against the wall, his familiar scent overwhelming me. His kiss was fierce yet restrained, leaving my brain dizzy until he gently laid me on the soft bed. Handing me a glass of water, he said, Wifey, hydrate first. Kneeling by the bed, he drew me closer, his hands trembling. I spilled the water, soaking his neck and chest. Unfazed, he licked the droplets from the corner of his mouth, then wrapped me in a warm quilt. Wifey, rest well, he murmured. I blinked, stunned. Did this man secretly go through some self-improvement behind my back? Ryan, what do you mean by this? I demanded. Seeing him about to retreat, I roared. Try walking out this door, and we're divorced. My voice was small but sharp. He panicked, hugging me tightly, rubbing my back. You, I croaked, too frustrated to speak. Ryan's eyes turned red with worry. Wifey, don't be mad. Throat hurt? I'll get you water. I quickly cuffed him to the bedpost with pink handcuffs I had been itching to use. Panic flickered across his face. Sarah, you'll regret this. You hate pain. Don't be so sure, I warned, ripping off his clothes and slapping him hard. He growled, frustrated. Miss, if not for this life you gave me, sometimes I really want to kill you. I shivered at the words, a rarity in his voice. When I returned later with a small plastic bag of goodies, Ryan was still struggling against the cuffs. Red marks marked his wrists. I teased and pinched him, urging him to wait as I searched for the perfect outfit from the wardrobe, a school uniform style that made his reaction strongest. Crazy. Wifey's irresistible. I'm about to explode. I ripped open the package. Ryan breathed heavily, trying to dodge me. Will you throw me away after this? He asked, voice trembling.
No.
You're better than stars. Perfect body, long legs, talented, loved by millions. You're excellent. And I've loved you forever. Ryan's eyes immediately watered. Wifey, I love you too forever. He looked like a puppy on edge. This isn't 100% safe, he warned. Your health, parents, and I don't want you pregnant yet. Wait for my surgery tomorrow. Then we continue. And it's almost dinner time. I bit my lip.
No.
Surgery is irreversible. I want children. And I'm eating now. Despite being restrained, he broke free, pinching my waist. My world spun. He asked again, pleading with stars in his eyes. You really won't abandon me? One more word, and I'll tie you up again. Veins popped on his neck, sweat rolling down. Despite his gentle restraint, I cried out, releasing years of pent-up frustration. Do you know how sad I was, ignored all these years? Ryan lowered himself, kisses and tears raining over me. In dreams, I imagined us like this. I dared not look at you, accompanied you silently, fantasizing our future. Wifey, I love you. Everything is yours. The next day, I woke at noon, too exhausted to move. My phone rang. It was my father, finally reachable from a cruise. Why so many calls, he asked. I want to ask why you forced Ryan to marry me? He was shocked. Forced him? When did I? The year you graduated college, he drank with me. I casually mentioned I didn't want you wronged in marriage. He knelt down and promised to marry you, even signed a prenup guaranteeing he'd treat you well. You agreed. That's how you got married. I laughed until my stomach hurt. Ryan barged in, scooping me up. Wifey's this happy. Why wait before? Time to rub her tummy after yesterday's hard work. Wifey, rest up. Today's dessert is candied haws across from the school. Okay, I said, smiling. Epilogue. Ryan first saw Sarah Shun in a back alley. He was rummaging through trash, dirty and exhausted, dragging a snakeskin bag. She wore a white dress, black hair highlighting her pale face, holding a doll. Mud stained her shoes. A middle-aged man asked, Sarah, want a friend to play with every day? Sarah's eyes sparkled like purple grapes. Ryan agreed, joining the Shun household despite the hardships, debts, hospital corridors, bare walls, uncertainty about where he'd sleep. He and Sarah went to school together, shared meals, and studied side by side. Day after day, ordinary moments became extraordinary. She smiled more, drew him into her world, brightening his life. Though he loved her, he could not always protect her. Kidnappings, torture, horrors, they survived together. 1 hour before rescue, she insisted on a blood transfusion to save him. Even after, the Shun family sought a hypnotist to erase her trauma. Ryan refused. He wanted to remember every moment. He loved her from afar, watched her grow, silently stood by her. Her smile, her happiness, her choices guided his life. Upon graduation, he declined opportunities that would separate them, choosing a career with freedom to be near her. He gave up future, comfort, and self for the chance to stand by Sarah Shun until the very end.